All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So Joe Douglas just wrapped up his combine press conference and really talked a little bit about the present of the team, the future of the team. And in this one, I wanted to really hone in on some of the main takeaways. And funny enough, I was actually doing dishes. I was watching it on my phone. I was doing dishes and I was reading like some of the live chat. And I just got to say, like, the Jets fans, like, it's just such a great community, Like, I was recognizing names and stuff like that. Like, I saw a couple of my buddies that, I go back and forth with in DMs. Like, it's just, the Jets fans are the best. So let's just jump right into this thing. I don't want to waste time here. Let's jump right to Derek Carr because that was brought up, that was addressed. According to Joe Douglas, it was quote unquote a fantastic visit. And JD actually talked about what he liked about Derek Carr, not only just as a player, but as a person. Of course, talked about his resume, just overall production, but him as a guy. It really sounded like that stood out to Joe Douglas, just him as a normal guy, somebody who can come into the locker room, respect everybody, buy into the process. Players will gravitate towards, not throw players under the bus, not point the finger, oh, we lost because of this guy, we lost because the play calling has got to get better, whatever it is. It really sounds like Joe Douglas admires Derek Carr just as a person. Doesn't really view himself as bigger than the team or anything like that, which is really cool. Talked about his confidence, talked about his smarts, overall intelligence, him as a competitor. It sounded like he's a Joe Douglas guy. I don't want to get my hopes up or anything like that. But look, the second meeting will take place later on this week in Indianapolis. So, I mean, man, there's a lot of stuff to look forward to here. He didn't want to get into hypotheticals or anything like that. He didn't want to say if the team offered him a contract, which, it's kind of coach speak. It's dodging a little bit. He doesn't want to get into the details, but at the same time, this is the NFL. This is draft season. Free agency is not hit. I don't mind the coach speak. I don't mind him living in the gray area, if you will. The last thing you want to do is give ammunition to other teams, leak your plans, leak what you have, like what the organization is planning on doing to the media and get everybody talking about it. So I could respect Joe Douglas for, not really wanting to hone in on details here and give the media what they wanted. Shifting gears and talking a little bit about the Quinnen Williams situation, this was really interesting. Not only does he just feel good about it, but he also said that the conversations have started. They feel like it's going to go in the right direction, and it's really just a matter of time at this point. We look at Quinnen Williams, and, as much as there's holes in the offensive line, there's a hole at the quarterback position. We don't really know what's going on with Quinnen's brother Quincy. We don't really know what's going on with the safety position. The Quinnen Williams extension, at least for me, I can't speak for everybody, it kind of gets lost in the mix a little bit. Like, it's something that I have to remind myself, like, oh yeah, this is something that the Jets have got to figure out too this offseason, because if Quinnen, according to himself, doesn't get that extension, he's going to be holding out. He's looking for $20+ million a season, which is a lot of money, but at the same time, Quinnen is a young player. Really, it seems like he's really starting to hit his stride, coming off an all-pro season. I mean, we can just wreaked havoc in the running game, wreaked havoc in the passing game. Quinnen's a guy who I would absolutely love to have back, especially considering Rankins is not under contract either. Another big piece of the defense, the interior of the defensive line. Solomon Thomas is supposed to be a free agent. So to bring back Quinnen Williams, to sign him to that extension, like the Jets re-signing a really good homegrown player that the team drafted extremely high in the draft, 3rd overall, I think to me is imperative this offseason. He also addressed some of the injured players on the team like AVT, Breece Hall, Dwayne Brown, Mekhi Becton. He said that they're all doing really well. Everything is progressing. Everything is going in the right direction. But the one player that stood out was Max Mitchell, because Max is in a bit more of a serious situation. It's not just a simple on the field injury, rehab, come back, you're good. His situation a little bit more scary, especially when it happened. Definitely freaky, but according to Joe Douglas, he's doing great. Obviously, he's under contract going into his 2nd year, so that was just totally great to hear that Max Mitchell, out of all the players that dealt with missed time last year, he's the guy that's doing really great. He said that the team hasn't changed their stance on Zach Wilson at all, although he did admit that the first 2 seasons haven't really gone according to plan. The production just hasn't really been there, and it's just kind of one of those situations where it is what it is, but the Jets are, according to him in this press conference, maybe something's happening behind closed doors. It's not like the team is looking to move off of him or get rid of him in one way or another, a release or a trade or anything. So Zach Wilson, nothing new there. He did talk about Todd Downing for a little bit, and this was pretty interesting because this move was met with a lot of criticism from Jets fans, from media members, because Todd Downing, was not that good of an offensive coordinator with the Tennessee Titans last season. The Titans had one of the worst offenses in football, but also he was arrested for DUI and was fired from Tennessee. And then the Jets just instantly scooped him up. And it's one of these situations, there wasn't like a break, like a year break in between. The Jets scooped him up pretty much immediately. And again, that news was met with a lot of negative reactions and whatnot, and I completely understand it. But Joe Douglas said that he's excited about Downing, not only just as a coach, but as a person. So it is what it is. We'll see how it plays out. It's kind of interesting, looking at this offensive staff with Downing, with Hackett. Calabrese is still going to be on the offensive staff as well. So this has got to be a season where we start picking up the pace offensively. It really needs to happen. Now, the last thing I wanted to end off on was this cool little, I don't want to call it a cliffhanger or anything like that, but he said that because the team doesn't have a lot of prorated money in the future, in turn, they can open up a lot of cap space if need be this year. In other words, trying to bring on a Derek Carr, Aaron Rodgers trade, whatever it is, Lamar Jackson, who knows? The point is, this New York Jets team under Joe Douglas has the flexibility, they have the leash financially to make things happen, to readjust some things, to open up space for potentially big names, big names, superstars. So I'll leave it there. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And as always, go Jets.